Based upon the assumption that Rashi, in his commentary throughout the entire Chumash, does not state the obvious, we have a problem with his observations to Bereshit 13:6, in which he writes, Lo haita yechola lahaspik mira lemiknehem, that due to the fact that Ruchusham Rav, both Avraham and Lot, were able to accumulate vast wealth, which came about through extensive herds of sheep and cattle, Lo nasa otam haaretz lashevet yachdav, should they wish to remain together in Eretz Canaan, the land was not able to support them, and therefore they needed to part company. The obvious meaning of nasa otam is support the feeding needs of the herds, and this is the commentary provided by Rashi, Lo haita yechola lahaspik mira lemiknehem. If we accept the premise that Rashi does not state the obvious, and in this case there is no alternative interpretation to the phrase v'lo nasa otam haaretz, we have the problem as to why Rashi felt the need to include this statement in his commentary to 13:6. This question is addressed in the footnotes to the Sikha. But first, some background information in which we shall return to the Pasuk. One of the rules of Hebrew grammar is that a verb that modifies a noun must match that noun both in gender, masculine, feminine, and in number, singular, plural. In Pasuk Vav, the subject is haaretz, the verb is nasa. The problem that we have is that the word haaretz is feminine, and in theory the verb should take a feminine form. In reality, the word nasa takes a masculine form. Theoretically, the text should have read v'lo nasa'a with a hey, haaretz. This textual anomaly is addressed by Rashi, where he writes v'loshon katser hu. The information of the pasuk has been abbreviated. Certain segments of the pasuk that should have in actuality not been included. In the words of Rashi, v'tzarech lahosif alav, it is necessary to add information to the pasuk, k'mo, and with that information it is as if the pasuk had stated v'lo nasa otam mire haaretz, that the pasture of the land could not support them. Lefichach katav, therefore the text writes v'lo nasa b'loshen zachar, in the masculine format. In anticipation to providing a response to the textual anomaly, Rashi's opening words to the commentary are Lo haita yechola lahaspik mireh lemiknehem, that it, the land, was not able to supply pasture for their respective herds, broadening the subject from haaretz to mireh. And mireh haaretz, the implied masculine subject of the pasuk, aligns itself with the verb nasa. In a footnote to the translation of Rashi provided by the Art Scroll, we have the existence of an alternative option to the textual anomaly, a davar acher, in which the implied subject is not the mireh but the am haaretz, in this case referring to the local population that would need to be employed as herdsmen and shepherds. On account of their vast wealth, there would have been a skills shortage, and for this reason Avraham and Lot needed to part company. In question 2 we asked that in light of the fact that the Lo Yachla Eretz Mugurehem Laseit Otam of Bereshit 36 could not mean anything else other than the inability of the land to provide sufficient pasture needs for the flocks of both Yaakov and Esau, why was there a need from the very outset for Rashi to comment Lahaspik mireh lebehemot shelahem? Footnote number 4 raised the question that Rashi makes a similar comment to Bereshit 13, despite the fact that this interpretation was just as self-evident there as it is here. To which the response is that in Pasuk 13 that information comes not as a definition for v'lo nasa otam, but rather as a response to the grammatical problem relating to the word nasa in a masculine format. And as an aside, in support of the thesis presented by the footnote, the verb format in Bereshit 36:7 is v'lo yachla, feminine eretz mugurehem, laseit otam, because here the subject is eretz, and as noted earlier, eretz is a feminine word. Having dealt with the issues raised from Bereshit 13:6, we can now return to the core Sikha and the third of a set of 4 questions relating to the Rashi's commentary to Bereshit 36:7.